definitely a balance and definitely an identity thing, because I don't think many male comics get asked where their kid is after every show. While that's part of the narrative of what I have to do every night, is after I've finished, you might get some compliments about the show, but then you get, oh, where's your kid? And you're like, oh, let's talk about the show. But it's the job, and I'm lucky that I'm able to do it with the support that I've got. So.
Don't ask me that.
No.
Where's your kid? What are you on about? What kid?
Some mystery tiny Kel running around.
Jeez, what's happened?
We're delighted to announce our newest partner for Legends with Bevo. A big welcome to Ancora National. Ancora National are an incredible organisation with passionate staff that are all about giving people living with a disability a better life by helping them to find employment. They believe that everyone is deserving of living a fulfilling life with no one left behind, and they provide a range of support services to people living with a disability. To find out more, go to their website, ancoranational.com.au. Well, for the second time round, I've got the great pleasure of being joined by Amy Hetherington and Kel Balnaves, who've been going all around Australia doing regional tours. How you going, guys?
Great, thanks, Bevo. Cheers for having us.
Thank you. This is weird because we've been chatting for like how long now?
About half an hour before the
Everyone
cameras
has missed
turned
out
on.
on so much content.
We should have hit the record button. Never
We
mind.
should have hit record.
Yeah.
It's really nice to be in your lounge room as well. Thank you very much for inviting us into your home. Beautiful what you've done with the place.
Yeah, it's great. You have a lot of Cat 5 cable for a bloke's lounge room, Bevo.
It's good.
Exactly.
Not much Kmart decorations. I'm impressed. You're real sophisticated.
No, the Kmart don't do HDMI in this quantity.
For our last show, the Backyard Legends of Bevo, give that a bit of a plug. We actually had pot plants in the background as well, so there you go. So it was actually like a lounge room. But
Backyard Legends. Who'd you get? Like Peter Cundall,
Scotty Cam.
Scotty Cam. Did you get Don Burke, or was he a bit on the nose now? You're like, no, we won't get Don.
Got to be careful with that
No.
one.
Won't
But,
get Don. He's
Costa.
Costa's going
Everyone's favourite Costa. I
Oh.
actually have a massive crush on Costa, so just be
Cost-
careful. We're not going to say that
Costa's a
too much.
legend. He's an absolute gardening legend, but
He's a
it's not
babe.
about me, it's about you guys anyway.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Hey, Bevo.
Tell us about the regional tour. What's been happening?
What have we been doing, mate?
We've been everywhere. By everywhere, in brackets, SA and WA lately. We started in, halfway through January. We went over to the west coast of SA, so we did like Lincoln, Streaky, Sejuna, and then went across the Nullarbor and went all around WA. And then now we're back doing the rest of the SA stuff. And, just has really been awesome. Has exceeded our expectations. People have just really got around it. We're stoked. It's really been good.
And I guess for those that don't have any context to what that is, Kel and I are both comedians. Like, just in case somebody's like, who are these strange people?
No, we go around doing backyard renos.
Yes.
We saw Backyard Blitz and went, let's take that regional.
Could you imagine? That'd be an expensive road trip. Or just
Yeah.
turn up in people's backyards and just be like, here's a Bunnings table.
Especially when you rock up in like Kalgoorlie or somewhere and you're like, cool, not a lot of water here.
None.
We were talking off air, and you guys said your next tour is going to be Regional Dickheads on
Yeah.
tour or something. It could be Regional Dickheads do a backyard blitz or something like that, couldn't it be?
I like
So,
it. I like it. I think we should just lean into our strengths, and what we do is we just pull up at people's places and give them life advice.
No, I can just start landscaping without asking them. Just start doing it.
That hits too close to home because my dad often breaks into my yard and just starts doing things around the house without asking for permission. And the other day I came home and half of my house was painted. So people break. Yeah, he thinks he's helpful, but sometimes it's a bit of boundaries, Dad.
But he got the paint that was on sale at Bunnings because it was a mistint, didn't he?
It's such an awful colour. Oh my
You'd
God,
hate it
Dad's
when you
gonna
come
see
home
this.
and it was a pink wall or something, wouldn't you, and stuff. So
And just in case Dad does watch this, wherever the camera is, I love you. Thank you for being so helpful. Stop painting my house. Please. But I guess what Kel was like, we're on this big comedy tour, split bill, doing shows all over Australia, and it's fun. Regional audiences are the best.
yeah, they're so lovely, aren't they?
It's not to say that city audiences aren't great, but city audiences get plenty of opportunities to see shows, whereas the regional audiences don't. So that's why we try to give them a bit of love. So it's,
Yeah,
if
it's
you're in the
awesome.
city, you're great. We do
love
really
you.
like you. But
It's a laid back kind of feel with regional people, isn't there? I work for a regional newspaper and speak to them all, people from the regions all the time, and they're just laid back, on their farms, and they're not really rushed with time. Have you guys found that as well?
Rush with time is the perfect way to describe them because there has not been a show that started on time.
yeah,
for 2 months.
what we need to do, what we kind of try and do is we have the the time that the show starts, but with the regional thing, you should also put the time when everyone should leave home. Because if you don't specify that, they'll leave. At the time they see on the poster, that's when they'll leave home.
Yeah.
So if you go, like, if your show starts at 7, you probably go, like, all right, get in the car at 6, all right? Just get out the house at 6.
Yeah, nothing has started on time. But, like, that laid-backness is part of what we enjoy doing shows for, because people are more likely to laugh if they're comfortable. So we partner with, like, venues or local breweries and pubs that people like to hang out with, and then put these shows on. So everyone's comfortable in their own space. They get a show on. It's pretty fun. It's pretty good. Like, I'll blow our own trumpet and just be like, we're pretty good. It's a good show for people.
Just cut that out.
Yeah. Just that bit? And
just that bit.
That's the promotion. It's a good show.
We're pretty good.
And what's Split Bills? What's that all about?
Okay, so Split Bills
Just half.
Half, yeah, 2 headline acts for the price of 1, I guess. So both of us do about 45 minute to an hour, depending on how fun the audience is or how many heckles or interruptions we get. And then there's a drinks break in the middle, and hopefully it means that there's a good night out for people because you get 2 different voices. Kel's comedy is different to mine, so it means that if you're coming along, like, you might prefer one or the other, which is sweet. You get 2 different styles of comedy.
A lot of landscaping gear.
All your landscaping jokes, yeah.
Have you had, like, for the season, do you sort of follow the same format, or does every show sort of change it up? Or, how does it work?
We follow a format.
Yeah, there is a structure, and then you just play within that according to what the crowd's into.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, you have it. Yeah, you have your sort of stories and jokes that you want to tell, and then muck around with the crowd in amongst that.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, and some local references. Like, there's nothing better than rocking into a smaller place and scrolling through the Facebook community forum and finding what they've all been fighting about and including that in your show.
Love that.
Yeah, it's great.
It's good. It's good.
Got good legs off it in the Gawler show.
When we
found out that the
truck
local
had taken off part of the politician's veranda.
Yeah, the local MP's veranda had been taken out by a truck. So you're like, oh, I'm going to bring that up.
Yeah, the best one though was Bremer Bay in WA, because I was scrolling in there and I found out that someone's goat kept getting out, and there was a goat that just kept turning up in different parts of the town. So Kel brought up the goat, and the whole show lost their minds because the guy who owns the goat was at the show.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So that was an extra half hour on that show, I reckon.
Yeah. Actually, that was handy because that show was a Monday night, and it was good fun, but it was sort of just ticking along. And then I went, who owns that goat? And he's there. Yeah,
it blew the roof off. It was great. Made the show heaps funnier. I only wish that I was the one that brought up the goat. I was happy for him, but I was a bit like, oh, damn it. I wish I brought up the goat.
You should have brought it up.
Should have. Oh, hindsight.
You must have some other good stories about being together on the road all that time as well.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment we're driving around in Kel's Commodore, which has become fodder for the show because he's got material about that Commodore. But, like, driving this old car around, that's pretty fun. Like,
well, you got pulled over in it the other day.
I did. I got pulled over.
I lent it to you.
Yeah.
And trusted you with the commie. What did you do?
I got pulled over, and the cops were nice. They were lovely, but I didn't have my ID because, like, in the Northern Territory where I'm from, you don't need your ID. And they were like, well, we need something to verify who you are. What we need is something with your photo and your name. And I was thinking for ages, and then they were just like, just your photo and your name. So I gave them a flyer to one of my shows.
That's brilliant.
I was so embarrassed, but then they all came to the show.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's the best way to flyer.
Did you get off the no fine as well?
Yeah, no fine. Yeah. I'm quite charming.
There's a couple of warnings on your name now.
Yes, there's a couple of warnings on my name.
It's like over speeding or something?
No. I just had my phone next to me with the directions because I'm not from here. I didn't know where I was going. So.
And they're like, off. Wow.
Yeah. Lucky me. I had the toddler in the back too, so she was giving them some cheek. She was in the back of the car going, Mum, are we going to the beach or are these guys holding us up? And I'm like, be quiet, 3-year-old. I don't want to get in trouble.
Got attitude like Mum already.
Yeah, she's very much a mini-me. That's my fault.
And Kel, some stories to share as well?
Cooking on the commie, surely.
Well, yeah, I have been doing that. So I don't know why. When we were crossing the Nullarbor, it's you need something to entertain yourself. So I had a roll of alfoil in the car, and I bought some frozen cuisines from the supermarket in Sejuna, and then I just wrapped them up in alfoil and I started cooking them. So I cooked dim sims, I've cooked Chico rolls, I just cook them on the exhaust manifold of the car, and I just film myself doing it. And it turns out that that's the kind of content that people seem to enjoy.
Gone a bit viral on the Instagram.
So if you want to see me cooking stuff on a car engine, tune in.
It's terrible. It tastes like the car.
It doesn't. It's just because it's a bit burnt.
Wow.
It'll be all right. Just cut that bit off.
That's been fun, like pulling over every now and again, and he opens up the bonnet of the car, and obviously everyone driving past goes, "Oh, that Commodore's broken down." Good
Yeah,
luck,
exactly.
mate." That old car's done.
Pull over to check if you're all right. You're like, of course I'm all right.
I'm just cooking dim sims.
Cooking dimmies.
That's pretty.
I've got a box of the marathons.
It's
Yeah.
it's a very cultural experience, this tour, for sure.
They say that we don't have culture in this country, mate.
Well,
Cooking stuff on a car motor.
Yeah.
You're both smiling. Has there been some stories where you've kind of annoyed each other, or has it just been all smooth sailing?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were good to say that, weren't you?
Yeah.
I was going to go, nah, not too bad, but there you go.
No, because sometimes I talk too much. That's one of my things, and sometimes Kel likes silence.
Right.
So I'm learning that if I'm talking and I haven't had a response for a while, I have to be quiet, and then you're okay. You need a couple of coffees before you reach my level of enthusiasm.
Well, not all of life is a podcast.
I could talk all day, but I'm learning to be a little bit more quiet. But it's lucky it's cricket season, or that there's cricket on, because the two of us both like that. So we have that on the radio a bit. So that
We
does
do
help.
like analysing various cricket teams. And
Yeah. Having opinions on who should be in the starting 11 for Australia. We've got some very strong opinions on that. So that's most of our road tripping is talking cricket.
And you
dim
play it
sims.
now as well.
Yeah, I play up in Darwin. I'm
Oh, good.
wicket keeper, opening batter for our team up there, which doesn't mean I'm any good. It just means that they don't want me bowling.
It's just because she doesn't shut up. I talk too much. Natural wicket keeper.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty handy. The season starts up there and the off season for everyone else, so we kick on in a couple of months' time. So
Yeah. Alex Carey would have to be the only wicketkeeper that isn't selected because he's good on the chat, I reckon.
yeah, well, he's an athlete. Like you see those catches he was
That's
getting.
right. They just went, former AFL player.
Yeah.
And they went, no, we'll throw him the gloves.
Yep.
Whereas,
Everyone else.
everyone else
because-
just constant
Yes.
chat behind the stumps.
Yeah, he's not much of a sledger, is he? So,
No, he's pretty.
Yeah.
He's a lot more quiet for a wicketkeeper.
It's a good point. Yeah.
I am not.
And obviously all this time on the road as well. What's been your favourite pub to go to, you guys?
Oh, yeah, that's
And
a good.
why?
That's a good question.
Best snitty.
Best schnitty is a good question, and I'm just trying to think because SA is, we take them pretty seriously, whereas WA, I love WA, but they don't have the pedigree that we have over here, So
Even their vanilla slices are a bit disappointing in WA.
Whoa. That's very disappointing.
I mean, that's the
Yeah.
food of the tour is vanilla slices. We've been stopping everywhere and getting a snot block at nearly every place we've gone.
Well, I just assume that every place, in South Australia, you can rock up in most places and the local bakery will be half decent,
Yeah.
Best schnitties. Yeah. Well, best pub. I like, that little pub we stopped in when we were cruising to Woodina. I'm going to get it right.
Woodina.
Kadina,
Woodina.
Woodina. Oh my God, South Australia, pick a side.
Can I just stop for a sec?
No,
Yeah, we're
don't
doing
tell
it.
them.
So Amy had been working so hard to get the name Minleton right because we did a show on Yorks at Minleton. She kept calling it Minlayton. Yeah, all right.
Try.
Worked so hard to get that in her head. She's like, Minleton. And then she goes on stage and says, oh, well, thanks for having us. We've just come down from Munter.
That's not how you say it.
It's Moonter, mate, but that's fine.
Well, a lot of people from in-state call it Thebarton, don't they?
Thebarton,
Yeah.
Thebarton, Minlayton,
Yeah.
interstate.
Anyway, what we've learned is that I shouldn't be in charge of any pronunciations or things of importance.
No, that's right.
But the pub near Woodina, that little one we stopped into, that was great when we stopped in there for a beer just to say hi.
Yeah,
I
so
really liked that one.
That was Minnipa. So that's just 20 minutes up the road. That pub, I've driven past it a bunch of times. It was never open. It was open. I went, because I just like to have a beer in the front bar. So I went in there.
It was great.
We were chatting for ages. We could have stayed. Yeah, they were great.
Yeah,
that was a fun
that's one of
little
my
pub.
favourite ones that we've been to. But then the local, like all the breweries we've been doing gigs at have been pretty good. Like What's a Cowie was fantastic. Like,
Oh, yeah. It'd be easy to say which ones were bad because there's been so many good ones. I'm not going to list any bad ones, but
no, we want to perform in all these places again.
But no, genuinely, we've had such a good time. I know that's probably not great for the podcast. You want gossip, Bevo?
No.
Bevo.
What about some gold then? Because my mate Jerry Goundry tells me when he's on the road all the time, he always hears some classic stories and stuff like that to share when he's out on the road. What about you guys when you're on tour? You come across some characters and things?
There's stuff happening everywhere, isn't there? Like there's people getting involved in the shows. Like we were in, I reckon the Sejuna gig had some of our better hecklers. When we were doing Sejuna, there was a guy who, when Kel said, "What do you do for a job?" he said he was a farm slut, which left some questions about what that actually was. But then farm slut became a thing throughout the show. Don't know much else about him other than he's a farm slut. He was pretty good.
Well, the heckling for that show started before the show started because the bastards were giving me shit on the local community forum. And you don't realise, because you can't read tone on Facebook, you don't know. So you're just like, oh, all right, mate, you drive 9 hours to come and do a show. And then you realise you're like, oh, it's that bastard there in the crowd.
They're just being cheeky.
Just being cheeky. And then you realise, oh, you little shits. And then, it was really fun.
Yeah.
They were pretty loose.
Kev was good. That guy Kev, he was pretty chatty.
Yeah, Kev that works at the wharf.
Yeah. He was good. And the other one that I really liked was when we did Streaky Bay, because Streaky Bay was a bit different. We worked with the council to put that gig on, and it was a BYO gig. So everyone just rocked into the hall with their own booze. There was a fella there that just rocked up with a bottle of Galliano.
Yeah, the big yard one.
Just sending the Galliano before the show had even started.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was that guy, I'd finished my set. So the way the format goes, like I do the first half, Kel does the second half. I finished mine, I'd come off the stage and some guy was like, "Do you want to come over and have a snack?" And he said it a bit too loud and Kel got a hold of it and there was a creepy undertone to, "Would you like to come over and have a snack?" And we ended up calling old mate Arnott's for the whole night.
Mr. Arnott.
Mr. Arnott.
Oh, because he was offering you a Monte Carlo.
Yeah, he was being a bit cheeky.
Oh, he was.
Yes. But those kind of interactions and people, they make the gigs, I reckon.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Well, I hope you're enjoying this chat with Kel Balnaves and also Amy Hetherington. We'll just take a quick break. And if you like your comedy, head to episode number 16 on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts for a classic chat with Limo, Anthony Lehman. It's a ripper. Now here's a message from our sponsors. Huge thanks to Aussie Rules Global for being an amazing sponsor the last few years. And speaking of Aussie Rules Global, if you want to be part of something special next year on Anzac Day over there in Gallipoli and you're over the age of 18 and you're a male or female, check this out.
The Slugs plan to play men's and women's games here at this soccer ground, the closest to the Gallipoli battlefields during the 2025 commemorations. The idea to make it spectacular, to fill this entire area with Aussie Anzac pilgrims. Vincent Malia tours with the Southern Slugs. Footy, he says, is perfect to honour the Diggers.
They would love it, I'm sure, because it's bringing Australia over there, isn't it?
Well, welcome back to my chat with Kel Balnaves and Amy Hetherington, two superstar comedians who are on the road at the moment all around Australia with the show Split Bills. Do I get that correct?
No, we just call it Comedy Road Trip, but it is a split bill show, so just half each is all that means.
Yeah. We need to come up with a better name, but we've got time to workshop that.
I think Regional Dickheads is
Regional Dickheads is
I love that.
That's the winner for next year.
Absolutely, yeah. Now, a few years back, I think we were talking before, it was around the COVID time, absolutely. Time sure does fly. And I reckon we were talking about ducks, because I think your show was something to do with ducks.
My show was called Don't Feed the Ducks.
Don't Feed the Ducks, that's right. Yeah, because just refresh our memories, and those people that are interested in tonight's episode as well, you can go back and listen to that past episode by looking up on YouTube, Kel Balnaves and Amy Hetherington from a few years back. But how did you guys first get to connect and that friendship? Where did that come about?
It was from Fringes, doing Fringe festivals in the same venues. We used to do the old Producers Bar, just down the road here.
And the Wine Centre.
And then the Adelaide Wine Centre, we did that one year too.
Yeah, because I'd come down from Darwin and put on shows and didn't really know anyone, and I always found that the Adelaide comedy crew was very welcoming. I felt like the boys in that circle were always like good mates, and Kel was part of that crew of humans, so we did some shows together through Fringe, and then when COVID hit and both of us kind of saw that there wasn't the work, like Kel had come up to Darwin a couple of times to do our Fringe up there, and then COVID took away a lot of work, and the two of us both value regional touring and doing things a bit differently, and both get annoyed when opportunities, you have to wait for opportunities. We're both not the kind of people to sit and wait. So we like to create our own things. So out of COVID, we both kind of saw an opportunity where SA and NT was still kind of open. Summer WA was open to us as well. So we started doing regional touring out of that. So that last chat we did with you 4 years ago was before any of our regional tours together. And now for the past 4 years, we've been doing that. And if anyone does go back and watch that last podcast, they can see how much we've aged. It's been significant.
But they can also go back and watch it and we can actually say it worked.
Oh, yeah, it did work.
It worked.
Because we were tossing up the idea then. We were having a couple of beers and talking about it. Because what we were going to do is we were going to do you, me, and Liam the Magician was what the original idea was.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and then that got cancelled because of COVID, and then the two of us just went, we'll just make it happen, and we did Queensland. And then it all started happening from there, and now every year we kind of get together and share some of that touring.
Yeah, now I've bought a Commodore and we're just doing that.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's how, look at the profits.
Yeah. And now we're on couches.
Yeah, we've got couches.
Yeah. We get to hang out with you again, Bevo. It's great.
I know.
Look at that.
Pretty good.
Yeah. I've still got a full head of hair, even though I don't really.
Yeah, that 4 years ago, if you look at that, you can see
We've all changed.
Yeah, we've changed a bit. And I was like secretly pregnant when we were doing that last podcast. So I was there like a little bit sick, but also holding it together quite well.
Yeah, unbelievably. Like, honestly, I don't know how you did that.
I was very tired.
Speaking of which, you went on tour with your daughter as well. Tell us more about that.
Oh, yeah. I took little human with me to every state and territory in Australia because somebody told me I couldn't do it. My love language is spite, and I love proving people wrong.
Brilliant.
So, yeah, I've taken her all over. She's come to Edinburgh Fringe with me and a few other things like that. So,
how was that?
Great, super fun, great fun, and really cool to be able to share what I do for a job with my tiny human who one day hopefully aspires towards trying things that are a little bit different, but not easy. Like, it's fun, but none of it's easy. Like when you're like, keeping a tiny human awake and entertained all day and then doing shows at night. It's yeah, but it's good. She's a cool kid, so that helps. Yeah. And then like when I'm not touring with Ruby, I'm touring with Kel, so another baby, so that's sweet.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is a balancing act for you to be able to, because it, working, live work's part of your job.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It is a balancing act, but you seem to be managing it pretty well.
Yeah. Like there's homesickness, like that's part of it because I'll do, like this tour is 2 months away from my home and Ruby comes and sees me in different parts. So she's like a FIFO baby, which is fun. She's got frequent flyer points. She is rocking it. But yeah, it's definitely a balance and definitely an identity thing because I don't think many male comics get asked where their kid is after every show. While that's part of the narrative of what I have to do every night is after I've finished, you might get some compliments about the show, but then you get, where's your kid? And you're like, let's talk about the show. But it's the job and I'm lucky that I'm able to do it with the support that I've got. So.
Don't ask me that.
No.
Where's your kid? What are you on about? What kid?
Some mystery tiny Kel running around.
Jeez, what's happened?
Regional SA maybe. So
that makes me sound like I'm up to no good all the time, doesn't it?
So maybe in Sajuna or something. But.
Well, yeah, I got onto the farm slut and then I got a Sajuna kid. Tell you what, it'd be a tough old kid, Sajuna kid.
You're not wrong.
I'm done. They cooked me, that is. Got onto the farm slut.
Got onto the farm slut.
So good. Let's move on to ships. Because you've been doing cruise ships as well, Kel.
Yeah, out of Sajuna.
Not doing cruise ships.
Not passenger ships. I just do the gypsum line straight out of Sajuna.
How's that been going, mate?
Yeah, great. They're the two halves of my my work are regional touring and ships. So I work for P&O, but that's now, depending on when this goes out, finished and has been taken over by Carnival. So I've been fortunate enough that I seem to have just stepped sideways into Carnival and I'll work for them.
Fantastic.
And
enjoy the experience and have you had some interesting stories on the ships as well?
Well, yeah, I just enjoy they're much the same. You've got just Aussies, in this case, on holiday on the ships. So it is, and you get heaps of regional Aussies on the ships. Like sometimes you'll mention that you do regional tours and people just start yelling out places at you to go to.
Oh, right.
Wherever you are. If you've done one out of Brisbane, they'll all be from regional Queensland or New South Wales if you're out of Sydney or whatever, and they'll just start yelling town names at you. Adelaide's the same. We got a heap. I've met someone, like people from Whyalla that were there was a massive crew of them that were on the Pacific Explorer one time, and now they all come back every time we do shows when they can. They're all legends,
That's brilliant.
That's just one example, but yeah.
And that shows, and that's a credit to you both as well, because it shows that people enjoy your shows. They want to come back and see it again.
Yeah,
so.
it is nice. Yeah. Because it's hard to get people to come out of the house once life resumes. Yeah, whereas on the ship they're like 2 minutes from their cabin. So
yeah. Now we're lucky that there's repeat people. It puts a bit of pressure on us to keep writing new jokes.
Yeah.
It's a trick, isn't it, that you want to keep providing new things, but then also knowing that there's going to be new audiences, and some of your jokes you spend ages working on. It's not like music where people want to hear their favourite songs. Comedy, everyone wants something new all the time.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of that work behind the scenes as well. But, there's always something dumb and silly happening that you can write a joke about.
Well, I love hearing stories about the shit gigs as well. Has there been any gigs where it's just bombed out, whether it be on this tour or past ones as well, guys?
Oh, there always is, but you try and suppress them, don't you? Try and suppress them.
I did, like, even on this last tour, I did Perth Fringe, and I had 3 people at one of the shows at Perth Fringe.
You're kidding.
Like, every other night was sold out. That's 100 people every night, but one night, for whatever reason, 3. It was the first night that school went back, so my audience wasn't going out that night. They were buggered. And the 3 people came, and I said to them, look, I can do the show, or if you want, I can refund you and you can come a different night. And they all went, nah, do it. And I had the best time with that group of 3. More fun with them than the night after that had 100 people, I reckon. That 3 were awesome.
Good on you.
So, like, what could potentially be a shitty gig on paper can sometimes be really good depending on your attitude about it, I think.
And good bonding as well, like with those people, so.
Oh, yeah, very intimate, given the show that I'm currently touring at the moment. Some of those things were very much like, I'm making direct eye contact with the 3 of you while I talk about humping a washing machine. See the show if you'd like to know more about that situation.
Absolutely. What about you, Kel?
The one that pops, not from this tour. I had one. It was very regional. It was in Queensland, and I'd driven so far to go do it, and the venue was awesome, and the audience was in 2 halves. There was a bunch of people there that were really there for the show, and there were a bunch of people there that were kind of just there, and they were just talking amongst themselves and being disruptive and whatever. And so you sort of get to that point where you go like, hey, because you're ruining the experience for the people that want to be there. So there's that. So you never want to have to put your school teacher voice on, but there was a bit of that. But then what really sent it and just made it awful was when I'd done it and I was packing it up, people were like someone spilled a drink on my PA system and just stuff like that. They just didn't care, and then like damaging the equipment, and you just go like, oh, you have no idea how far I've driven to try and give you a night out. And they're just the lack of respect for even my equipment that, you go like, cool, where am I going to buy another one of these? And who pays for that? If you, luckily it didn't break it. But
sometimes people can be assholes.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can be beautiful if the gig goes wrong. Like as a flip side to that kind of story, I did a gig in Catherine and they forgot to organise lighting for it. Because sometimes that happens because people are dumb.
Yeah.
Bless them, they mean well, but they're dumb. It was like a gig outside, no one had organised lighting. It got dark and everyone went, oh, we fucked up. So they all went home and came back with all of the lights from their house. We set up a bunch of power cords and they had reading lamps shining at me, and I just did the show in a car park with a bunch of reading lamps.
Yeah. And it blew the substation out.
Hey, you said you can't do improv. There you go.
I don't know if I was improving. They were all improving.
Right, that was
definitely them. But it just it always depends on the people that you get in a room to whether a gig is great or not.
And country people are good at that.
Yep, they are. Yep.
Keeping things moving.
Yeah.
Make the best of it.
Yeah. No, we've all done weird gigs. We've all done strange, wonderful things. We did a gig in Mount Magnet in Queensland that had 5 people at it. Mount Morgan, yes. And one guy drank a litre of milk during he just sat there with a litre bottle of milk and he drank it. And then midway through, he tried to pause the live comedy show.
Because he wanted to get more milk.
Weird unit of a bloke. We entertained him and his 4 friends and didn't get murdered.
Did we need to? Probably not.
No, but we were paid with cash. And And we left the town very early the next
Well,
morning.
next time we go that one, just take a Nesquik with you or something like that, so you can put or some strawberry topping or something, and then put it in his milk
Just
cream.
Just for the next time someone gives a shit about osteoporosis in the show.
Who's drinking milk?
Oh, it's just gross.
Yeah,
Yeah, bizarre.
it was a bit weird. That's right. We survived.
Yeah.
Hey, before we finish up today, guys, plug your tour and plug all your emceeing stuff as well, Ames.
Yeah, sweet. So we've got a few more weeks of the Adelaide Fringe, taking shows to regional and suburban places. So people can look that up on the Adelaide Fringe site.
Yeah, just look up Kel or Amy, either one.
Yep.
Punch that into the Adelaide Fringe site and you'll see that'll come up. You can check out our socials. If you want to see me cooking things on a Commodore motor, Kel Balnaves, that'll be the place to look that up.
And if anyone's ever around the Northern Territory, I tend to be hosting everything up there. So I'm a bit popular in that space. So if you're up there for things like the supercars or for the AFL or any of those fun events, I tend to be on the ground running around talking to people and doing that.
Be like, you could get taken by a crocodile and Amy would be there after that going, can we get a round of applause for the crocodile, folks?
If it's a clean effort, then sweet.
Yeah.
We're all for it.
You'd just be fully there showing your appreciation.
Yeah, and like the Territory has some weird events. Like there's Luxor festivals and stuff that we get to host, like where everyone just eat in November, which is the sweatiest time ever to be in Darwin. People just eat Luxor. And there's a big festival where everyone sits around eating Luxor together, and I get to interview people while they sweat and eat hot soup. I love Darwin.
That is so random.
It's so random.
That's
it's so
when you
good.
do need a liter of milk, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I feel uncomfortable thinking about it.
Oh, on that note, Bevo, jeez.
But yeah, we're very lucky that this is our job and we get to hang out with cool people. And thanks for having us, Bevo. We always love having a yarn.
Thanks for having us on your curdled podcast called Litres of Milk with Bevo.
Kel Balnaves and Amy Hetherington, absolute legends. Thanks so much for coming on the show, guys.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Bevo.